Hi folks, my name is Dave Woodard, and I am here to announce the ending of the treasure hunt of Forrest Fenn's The Thrill of the Chase finale. And this is it. I have a team building of heroes and superheroes, and I want to give the public my newest team members to my team of heroes that are going to expose the gigantic scandal of the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt. They don't know that they're heroes just yet, but they are. And I'm going to start right now with the governor of Wyoming, Mark Gordon. He's going to be a hero in this treasure hunt ending, because this is going media. This is going multimedia. This will go viral, but I want them to know they're going to be heroes in this story. New Mexico Governor Michelle Grisham. Now, I may have screwed up names the other day with my Dale Neitzel video because I'm so excited to get this information out, and I'm on a timeline for a 4-year statute of limitations for tomorrow. But these new team members of mine, they're going to go down in history as heroes. So I'm announcing them right now, even though they may be mad at me for this. But they are on my team because they're fighting for justice. That's what their job is. And that's what I'm asking for. Justice. Done by a horrible scandal that I'm exposing. Now, the Attorney General, the Wyoming prosecuting attorney in Teton County, Yellowstone, where the actual deception for this fraud was committed. They did damage in Yellowstone, and they need to pay for that. Shiloh Old and Jack Stuef and Karl Sommer and Cynthia Meacham. That's what the prosecuting attorney, Aaron Wiseman, is going to take on. And folks, I've already talked to the governor's office this morning, and I appreciate they called me right back. The attorney generals, I'm not mad at them, the attorney general's offices in Wyoming and New Mexico, because this is going to be a couple of different states included in this fraudulent ending treasure hunt. Because this treasure hunt was put out to the public, and it was stolen and lied about. That's fraud. So that's what I'm exposing. New Mexico, Attorney General Raul Torres. I'm sorry I called you Paul the other day. An assistant to the Attorney General, Lisa Chavez. I'm not mad at you, Lisa. I know you haven't called me back or anything, because I'm just another one of the crazies that say they solved this treasure hunt. But I'm at a point now where the crazies sue civilly to Shiloh Old. This isn't a civil case anymore. This is a criminal case, and it needs to be stepped up to the Attorney General's office. Actually, the theft was in New Mexico, but the deception is in Wyoming, where they destroyed certain things in Yellowstone. So they have to pay for that. This has to come out so people understand what the treasure hunt was about. Now, I've already given my new team members, one of them, the governor of Wyoming, Mark, I've already given him a superhero name on my team. Now, I'll tell you at the end of what it is. The actual team of heroes that I have behind me. Mark is getting added to that, and he's going to go down in history as a hero. And you'll see the people out there that have creative comic book minds will know who the governor is for his secret identity in my team, for a hero. So, it's pretty creative. Anyways, Forrest Fenn's creation. I want to let folks know what he created. He created a treasure hunt that he wanted a child to solve. It revolved around comic books, and I've proven that in my videos. And he wanted people to enjoy going out and looking for an actual treasure chest, which was the thrill of the chase. The actual solve to the thrill of the chase is the thrill of the chase. And that's in my videos also. So it's a beautiful thing, what he created. And the thrill of the chase for him was chasing after Superman, #1 magazine, because he loved comic books, and he said it in his books. His thrill of the chase was chasing after Superman. So he created a treasure hunt where our thrill of the chase was looking for Lois and Clark. Lois and Clark, Clark Kent, Clark Kent Superman movie, there's a scene, thrill of the chase. If you find the thrill of the chase in Superman, you understand you're looking for Lois and Clark, and then you find Clark Kent on Forrest Fenn's secret grave marker. This was an incredible treasure hunt that was shut down and blocked by Shiloh Old to protect the theft of him stealing that treasure chest from me, which is an injustice to Forrest Fenn and his legacy. And it's an injustice to me because my credibility has gone down the tubes because people don't believe that I solved this treasure hunt. But I did. And now I've solved the mystery behind it. So my team of superheroes, I thank them. They stood up and they backed me. And now the governor of Wyoming is going to back this story because he's going to understand there was fraud that's gone on. It's been exposed by me. Open and shut case. This isn't going to take long in court because they don't have a solve in Wyoming at Yellowstone. They don't have a solve anywhere for this treasure hunt. So they have to come up with why. People told me, 9/10 of the law is whoever has possession of the object. That might be true. But if the object has been stolen, now what does it become? It's not 9/10 of proof that they own it. It's 9/10 proof that they stole it. So they have to come up with an answer of a solve to show why Shiloh Old has it. And if you watch my Dale Neitzel video from the other day, you'll understand what's going to happen here, how they're going to try to get out of that. So that's not going to happen. But Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt was created around Superman, heroes that he dedicated these stories to. And another one, this is just real quick, I'm going to give you an example. Rambo, First Blood, one of Forrest Fenn's heroes, and he put him in his stories by creating himself as Rambo in his stories. That's how he did this treasure hunt. It's a beautiful thing what he did with superheroes, and there's thousands of these stories and clues and innuendos. And Forrest Fenn said, imagination is more important than knowledge. And that's why he created this. But he also said, it's not who you are, it's who they think you are. Secret identity, that's what Superman was. That's what Forrest Fenn was. His secret identity, he tried to help people. He wanted to do something good for the public. And it turned ugly because some people went way overboard and hurt themselves and killed themselves trying to go after this treasure hunt that he said was in a safe place. Now, Shiloh Old and Jack Stuef put it at 9 Mile Hole. You cross a river that's very dangerous, and people should not go to where they said. That's a lie. It's a fraudulent ending, and it's a staged place that they destroyed in Wyoming at 9 Mile Hole in Yellowstone. So they're going to pay for that. But they're also going to pay for a class action suit because so many different searches that went out, and Shiloh Old stole that treasure chest and kept it hidden for months and months. And Michael Sexton passed away in the wilderness. Michael Sexton's death is on Shiloh Old and Jack Stuef because Jack Stuef wanted to step up for Shiloh Old, saying that he stumbled upon that treasure chest. So Jack Stuef is going down for the responsibility of the death of Michael Sexton. So it was all about superheroes, dedications to the grave marker, and dedications to lost soldiers. And that's all in my stories, in my videos. So there's a beautiful, beautiful dedication to heroes. That's why I created my hero team. Now, where do we go from here? I need to start today somewhere in court. I've already filed complaints of fraud in Wyoming and in New Mexico. So that's there. The complaint is already in. So Lisa Chavez needs to talk to Raul Torres and say, hey, we need to get this initiated. Aaron Wiseman needs to initiate today's date that there needs to be some type of lawsuit or or some kind of something to go on legally to say, hey, we're going to get this case into court somehow. But because of my health, because of my cancer, Monday, 3 days from now, I'm starting my radiation treatments every day for 2 months straight. So I will Skype and help however I can and be in contact because I'm not the enemy. I'm not the bad guy in Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt. I'm the regular searcher who got screwed over royally by Shiloh Old. And then he screwed Forrest Fenn and he stabbed him in the back. And that's a horrible thing to say. I've never liked saying it, but it's the truth. So, and I didn't deserve that. I solved this. Shiloh Old lied about it and deceived everybody. And he pulled in a bunch of people to help him. And those people should have come forward. They should already be calling the Attorney General's office saying, hey, I don't want in this. I don't want Shiloh Old's side. He lied to me. I'm not going to get into that. That's something we don't need to go. But the world of comic book characters inside of Forrest Fenn stories are incredible. There's so many hidden comic book characters, references, innuendos, stories, even the Rambo one. There's so many that I've found that it's a brilliant, brilliant treasure hunt that he wanted to do good. And he got smeared, his reputation got smeared at the end by the people who didn't want this legacy of great, amazing dedications to heroes coming out. So I'm here to defend Forrest Fenn. I'm going to go into court with Forrest Fenn on my side. And he protected me at the end by saying it was found by a guy from back east under a canopy of stars in the lush forested vegetation of the Rocky Mountains. Folks, that's the picture I sent Forrest Fenn July 2019. So he knew that. And he went through months and months waiting to hear from me. And he ended up sending Shiloh Old November 4th, and Shiloh Old admitted it, through Kyle Lazar's and K-Pro channel. He admitted, well, they admitted, hypothetically, if Shiloh was told by Forrest Fenn to just go check on the treasure and see if it's still there. Well, folks, Shiloh Old did. And Shiloh Old found it, and Shiloh Old kept it. And then he created this big fraudulent ending because Michael Wayne Sexton passed away in the wilderness in March 2020. So in June 2020 is when he sent the anonymous picture to Forrest Fenn to say, we're going to end this. I'm just going to send in the picture. He's going to know the guy finally dug it up, or think the guy finally dug it up. And Forrest Fenn announced me. And then they shut him down. Because Forrest Fenn, he never announced Jack. These are facts, folks. These are facts from June 6, 2020. Forrest Fenn never announced Jack as the finder or the solver. Forrest Fenn got screwed over, and he knew that Jack Stuef was a pawn in some kind of game, but he didn't really know how because he got screwed over by his own grandson, and his own grandson kept the treasure chest, and then he's passing it out, paying people to help protect the fraud and the scandal that has gone on and the conspiracy. I'm here to expose it. And now my team of heroes, the attorney generals, the governors, and, okay, are you ready? Governor Wyoming, his superhero secret identity. I told them this morning when I talked to the governor's office, I'm putting him down as a secret identity. I'm giving him his secret identity for this treasure hunt. Now, shut the film right now if you haven't figured out who Governor Mark Gordon will be as a secret identity. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you. Here it is. Commissioner Gordon is the governor of Wyoming. Mark Gordon is Commissioner Gordon. And to give you a little example on how this all falls into play, Forrest Fenn placed himself as Superman. He placed himself as Captain America in some parts of his. He put himself in so many characters. He put himself as Rambo. He put himself as so many different heroes in his life. But Superman was number one because that's what this whole story based around. Forrest Fenn hid his treasure in his Fortress of Solitude, as I have gone alone in there. That was Forrest Fenn's Palisade of being alone. Forrest Fenn's Fortress of Solitude. Palisade Hill, New Mexico. Now, Shiloh Old took that treasure chest. Shiloh Old's a villain. He hid it, and well, he made believe he hid it. He took pictures of it up in Wyoming, at Yellowstone. That's the beauty. Forrest Fenn created situations like that in his stories, with his own life wrapped into these stories about comic book stories, situations. He put the Philadelphia caper, which is where he joined Kent and Esther together. In my videos, there's hundreds of amazing, factual, cool clues that are pieces of evidence to prove that there's been fraud going on. Now, the actual fact is the thrill of the chase is the title to the gold. In the whole poem, at the end, he says, if you're brave, like Superman, and in the wood is palisade. A palisade is a structure of wood. If you're brave and in palisade, I give you title to the gold. So whoever solved this, and he said many times, whoever solves it has ownership. They have title to the gold. So what Forrest Fenn gave me, he gave me the title to the thrill of the chase. I own the thrill of the chase now. He gave me ownership of Too Far to Walk. He gave me ownership of Once Upon a While. Folks, I own all of that now because I solved this treasure hunt. Nobody owns that. Calazars and Capro just said that the other day.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, now this one I find fascinating. I have 2 more topics for tonight. Again, relatively short night. We still have 53 or less days, guys. So I already talked about probate. There's not a lot of update there because nothing is finalized. So I have gone in every once in a while and checked the copyright database for does Shiloh have a new book coming out? Does Forrest have a new book coming out? That sort of thing. The search term that I search by is Forrest Fenn because I'm thinking no matter what, and I just put it as in any field. And his books always come up, which is Too Far to Walk, Whoop of the Dance, Beat of the Drum, American Doll, all the books that he has 13 books. All of his books come up because they're all copywritten. And I just went back through I think I have all 13 books, and I went back through, and there is a C with the little C in it, copyright. Well, in the copyright database at the Library of Congress, TTOTC is no longer in their database. And I thought maybe they took out Forrest Fenn, and since Forrest has died, and I know the copyright's going to another person, let me search by ISBN. I searched by ISBN, it's gone. And several of Forrest's books are no longer at the Library of Congress in the copyright database.
Can you withdraw a book from the Library of Congress?
I don't know. So I have followed up with them, and it's like 10 business days.
Very bridge, everybody.
Well, it's just odd. So if there is, I know that a few searchers were librarians. Maybe we can check with Mary Robinson.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's happening because what I looked at, the thing that I know, is a copyright when someone passes goes to whoever the heir is. And Forrest always said, like Once Upon a While and those, I think Shiloh owns definitely someone in the family. So I don't understand why it would disappear. Maybe it's in transition and that's why it disappeared. But right now, there is no copyright showing up for TTOTC, Once Upon a While, or Too Far to Walk, and a couple of the other books, which I just find odd. So I just throw that out. I don't know what it means. It could be something stupid and, Capro just didn't know. Great. Tell me that if that's the case. That will be a topic for tomorrow night.
Nobody owns it. It's floating right now, the ownership of all of that. You know why? Because Forrest Fenn left it for the solver. And he also left a Superman 1 magazine in his vault, probably with a bunch of other comic book magazines to give to the solver. That Shiloh Old has had free reign with Karl Sommer to destroy everything. Oh, actually, Aaron Wiseman calling. I gotta go. Thank you, folks.
Is Candy. Candy did get an update from Shiloh, and Shiloh for a correspondence, and she said that Shiloh needed to take a month break from all the chaos of the chase. I think she said something like he needed to take a month's shower and just kind of cleanse. I know only a limited number of people talked to him, so I checked in with Cynthia and said he's needed to break for a month. When's the last time you talked to him? She's like 6 weeks ago, so it wasn't me. I think it would be good maybe not to bring so much chaos to Shiloh and all these little like minutia rants and chaos and rages and things. Or I think he's
Oh,
something.
God.
Yeah, this is my opinion, because I have seen, I'm not there anymore, but I have seen other places of, I'm telling Shiloh this, and I'm telling Shiloh that, and I'm going to send him this screenshot. That's making him walk away, in my opinion. And maybe if we get away from the rage and the chaos and more focus on the fun, like we had a great time maybe I'm just used to some of those speakeasies being a little bit more chaotic. I just had a blast in ours. So
I think Shiloh's a big boy. He knows how to block people if he wants to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think when he has only a few, and only those few, if right now he has a limited number of people, and those limited number of people are overwhelming him with chaos, and it makes him go away, hopefully the searchers can think of the greater good rather than their individual selves, and maybe bring less chaos to the family that's already been through so much. Maybe that's just a request, and maybe that's Shiloh is a big boy, so he can shut off certain people. He shut off everybody for a month, it sounds like, because he was so sick of the chaos, and we're all sick of it. Well, all but a couple of people.
Candy says he was his work, or whatever that means. Okay. Go Shiloh, come into the Discord and say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay, folks, I talked to Erin Wiseman, very wise. She gave me a lot of good information. She's not able to give me any legal advice, but she gave me a lot of good information. So I called the sheriff's department, and I spoke to somebody there on investigations. Now, it's marked down. An investigation has started. That's what I needed. That's the beginning of this group of heroes pulling together. He didn't want his name mentioned. He doesn't want to be a hero. He wants to investigate it. And I believe in his heart, he wants to know the truth. So I'm so excited that he's doing his job. And I know now that Lisa Chavez will do her job. Erin Wiseman will do her job. Commissioner Gordon will do his job. He's worked hard to get where he's at, and he's got a lot of responsibility as the governor of Wyoming. And I am not picking on him, folks. I am honoring him under this hero dedication to superheroes that Forrest Fenn created. And folks, I could go on for hours giving you clues and hints. The main thing I want to get across in this video to my new team that doesn't know they're a team of superheroes yet, but they will. They will understand when the more they investigate, and that's what that sheriff's department is doing for me. They're going to investigate, and that's what I've asked for right along. So when they do the investigation and they go, there's probable cause to initiate a claim and file criminal charges against Shiloh Old and Jack Stuef and Karl Sommer and Cynthia Meacham. Those are the four that are going into court against me. I'm expecting Zoe O to stay out of it. She does not want to get involved. She may be still to protect Shiloh, but if she wants to involve herself in that group, she will get involved because she's tried to protect her son, Shiloh Old. And I understand that, and I've given her the option of staying out. So we are going to court. This will eventually get into court, or it'll get to the mainstream media, and they will go, this is an incredible story that needs to be on the news, that people have to understand. Forrest Fenn created a treasure hunt about superheroes and heroes and dedications to lost soldiers and all of the soldiers he worked with, the Mavericks. It's a amazing, brilliant treasure hunt that was wiped away by fraud. And they don't have a solve in Wyoming. They don't have a solve in New Mexico. And I told Shiloh from the beginning, if you announced that the treasure was found in Palisades Cell, I couldn't say anything. But you committed fraud by announcing somewhere else, And Jack Stuef stood up and said, hey, I will take credit for finding that treasure chest and stumbling across a treasure chest that you couldn't find unless you solved his poem. Jack Stuef is not from the East. Forrest Fenn said it was found by a guy from back East. And the Canopy of Stars, folks, if you look in the Surviving Myself story, he's surviving by himself at Palisade Hill. That's what that story's about. And at the end of the story, when it shows the little grave marker, there's a little cross in that graveyard. That's the connection in the stories that leads you precisely down to the cross. But to fully understand what I did, what I solved here, it takes a lot of investigation and a lot of imagination to go, that is about Aunt Esther. That is about Red Fox. That's about Bubba Bexley. There's so many clues that he gives for these characters, all of these stars, and the two main characters, Kent and Esther, the superhero Clark Kent, Superman, and Aunt Esther, the homely girl. If you don't know who Aunt Esther is, please look her up. She was the homely girl on Forrest Fenn's cross for Kent and Esther. It's a beautiful, beautiful treasure hunt that's been washed away, folks. That's been hidden from the public. That grave marker that Forrest Fenn created, he was so proud of that. And it's been wiped away by Shiloh Old not bringing it out into the public. Well, I'm bringing it out into the public. And I'm exposing a major, epic ending of a tragic $3 million treasure hunt that turned fraudulent, scandal, and ugly. And I'm here for justice. And my team, they'll be proud. And my new team members, I hope you're proud too. I'm not here to upset any of the attorney generals, any of the sheriff's department, or the governors. But I needed to step this up. This is not one of the other vloggers saying, hey, I solved it. It's about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has a lot of comic book songs. That's how they saw the connection, and they thought they solved it. McCracken. Everybody that came forward with their solves on YouTube were passionate about their solves. And they were amazing because that was the thrill of their chase. Not the thrill of Forrest Fenn's chase, which was Superman. And Taylor Swift has a song called Superman. It was... McCracken, you were close. You were close. You were lined up. You were just not in the right spot to find Forrest Fenn's actual secret. The secret grave marker to dedicate to the war heroes. And if you have not had his book, The Thrill of the Chase, look into My War for Me. That grave marker burned in his brain, and he wanted a way to dedicate to that lost soldier, the French soldier. And he wanted a way to dedicate to every other lost and forgotten soldier in all different wars. That was his dedication. So this treasure hunt revolves around heroes. So many heroes in so many different ways. And now what I've created with my team is a whole new group of superheroes that are fighting for justice and Forrest Fenn's legacy to be known. That he didn't take that treasure chest back, folks. It was taken from him. And he never announced Jack Stuef for anything because Jack Stuef is a fraud. And Jack Stuef is going to go down with Shiloh Old in conspiracy to commit fraud against me. I'm a law enforcement officer in Massachusetts. So how can I go to Wyoming and say, hey, I'm not a citizen, but I'd like to file a claim of fraud against me? We'll go back up in Massachusetts to do it. This is what I've run into for over a year, and I'm beat down, and I'm frustrated. So I get heated kind of quick sometimes because I want this out. I want this known. As I was saying before, my health, I'm starting my radiation for 2 months straight. And I feel tired. I feel weak. And I don't like the way I'm on being on this medicine. I don't like the way I feel. I don't like it. And I've got to go another 2 months with this medicine and start the radiation. So I'm fighting for my life. But I'm also fighting for my reputation. And I'm fighting for Forrest Fenn's reputation. And I believe that the team that I'm with right now is my dream team that will pursue this. Even if I don't make it or whatever happens to me, my numbers may be down, but the radiation is supposed to kill any leftover residue of the cancer. But if it doesn't, and the metastasization, or however you say it, has gone further into my body, into different areas, I don't know that. I don't know what's going on, but I know that I'm not where I used to be. I'm going to be 60 years old coming April. I'm not a young man anymore, but I need to have this known for the immense, brilliant hero and superhero dedications to everyday superheroes. The police department, the fire department, the EMTs, all of the heroes that don't get a lot of the recognition. They do by their little towns, but this is something huge. This is something that Forrest Fenn created. Where the heroes in the Superman movie, the Thrill of the Chase 1.61 scene, that was just about everyday superheroes. The police were the heroes. And that's what he wanted to dedicate. The Thrill of the Chase, the connection for the police, the Thrill of the Chase, is chasing after something that you're excited about. Those police officers in sheriff's department, when you're on an investigation, you're like, that's a thrill of the chase. You want to solve that. I solved the Thrill of the Chase treasure hunt, and I get stabbed in the back. That's what I want known. This has to go out, and the media just pushes me away because Shiloh Old has announced, and not Forrest Fenn. Shiloh Old stepped up and took Jack Stuef on and announced after Forrest Fenn passed away. That's fishy, folks. The man who created this treasure hunt and ran it for 10 years, Shiloh Old takes over everything and says, hey, Shiloh Old, say that Jack Stuef is the finder, because Forrest Fenn would not let him. No way he would let him. And they put in, a month before Forrest Fenn died, they put in some false documentation saying that if the treasure chest happened to be found, whoever found it could keep it. That's what Shiloh Old did with Karl Sommer to try to protect themselves. They fraudulently signed Forrest Fenn's name to a document that they put into court. Whatever they did, whatever fishy thing they did to get that document into court, it's a fraudulent lie. Forrest Fenn wouldn't have said whoever found it stumbled upon it. Now, you had to solve the poem, and he stuck by that through and through. Folks, Forrest Fenn was honorable. Remember that. And my team, remember that. This is all about heroes, and Forrest Fenn was a decorated war hero that created a treasure hunt that he wanted a child to solve through comic books. And that's why he said, give the poem to a child. That's why he said, get the kids off the texting machines. The kids would find these clues that I found. And the comic book lovers out there, the people who collect comic books, the superhero enthusiasts that love Marvel movies and DC will understand what happened here. So it's seeing it from a different perspective. This whole treasure hunt revolved around Dancing with the Stars. And there's so much more. I can't get into all of it. I just want the basics and a lot of it to be understood right now so that the governor of New Mexico, the governor of Wyoming, and all of the attorneys that get on board here, you understand what's happening, and there has to be a team effort. And I know that you're busy with other cases and other things that go on, which is understandable. This may not seem like the most important or rushed type of thing, but it's rushed for me. I've been fighting this for 3 years. So I'm passionate about it, and I'm not going to get angry with anybody that wants to help. I've been pushed for 3 years by Shiloh and his scumdogs about just crappy things about me, and I'm done with it. I don't like the harassment. I've reached out to law enforcement. to assist. I've reached out to who I need to, like for my team. And I believe that they're going to step up. No matter what happens to me, they're going to step up. And they will be heroes in this treasure hunt ending. Closure that 500,000 people need. 500,000 searchers went out looking for this treasure. They need closure. They may not know that they need closure. They went out, looked, and they said, well, Jack Stuef, but nothing. We have nothing. We don't have 9 clues. We don't have anything with Jack Stuef. We have a stumbler that came up with a treasure chest and said we wouldn't understand what the fake blaze is. Folks, I've given you what the actual blaze is. Forrest Fenn's fire pit up in his secret area, which was the end of his rainbow trout. That was the end of Forrest Fenn's rainbow. And then the fake blaze was that ring of rocks next to the cross, the grave marker, that Forrest Fenn created. He created a doppelganger ring of rocks because it was too far to walk back up the ridge, 500 feet up. Folks, if your favorite place was Palisades Cell, which it is for Forrest Fenn, what's the best place to look at Palisades Cell? You have an awesome view from down in the parking lot, but you're not going to camp down there if you're a kid back in the 1940s or early 50s. You're not going to camp in the parking lot. Forrest Fenn found or created that ring of rocks, that fire pit in his secret area that he used to leave his fishing gear there until the next time he came, because nobody's going to find that ridge. Nobody's going to stumble upon the actual blaze. And he said you can't go around driving looking for the blaze. That blaze, you had to hunt the wilderness. And that blaze, that's the way to solve the treasure hunt. The secondary way. The first way is to pull up in front of that Kent and Esther cross and go, hey, that makes canasta. The first clue is so important. If you can't figure it out, you might as well stay home and play canasta. The first clue takes you right to the treasure chest at the grave marker. The rest of it is boots on the ground searching to find his blaze. When you find it, it brings you precisely right back down to the grave marker. It's a beautiful, beautiful poem that leads you precisely to the grave marker that he created to dedicate to all of us heroes out there. Remember that, folks. That's what the thrill of the chase is. The thrill of the chase is chasing after Superman, Clark Kent, on that grave marker. I thank you all, folks. I thank my new team for joining in with me, because I'm sure if you don't, I just don't want to see. I want us to be friends, okay? And I've done a video a long time ago. I was looking for Forrest friends to join in with me. I have so many videos about reaching out for help and protecting the family at the beginning, but then realizing what they really did after my investigation. So 3 years of investigation from law enforcement, there's a little bit of credibility there to say, hey, these guys are fishy. There's something wrong with their answers. So credibility, and I've already called out Dale Neitzel. Please watch my Dale Neitzel video. You'll see I called him out. He needs to step forward as Forrest Fenn's friend. Folks, I'm going to end it here. I want this video out today so people understand. I know I said yesterday I'm all done with the videos, and I've said that before, but when I find new information and I find new team members that are going to go down in history as heroes with me, and I've asked many people to be heroes with me, that's what Forrest Fenn created, the thrill of the chase. Because Shiloh Old and me are the ones that know Forrest Fenn's true secret, which is that grave marker that Shiloh Old hid from all of you. So, folks, again, I'm Dave Woodard. I'm not afraid to show my face. I'm not afraid to show my integrity, my respect for the law, because that's what I did. I told that officer from the sheriff's department that I talked to, thank you for his service. And every time you see a law enforcement, you should thank them for their service. This country has changed a lot, and law enforcement has taken a hit on respect, because sometimes law enforcement, you're in a situation where you have to make a decision really quick, and sometimes it's not the right decision. And we, as a group, as brothers and sisters in blue, we all take that hit of credibility for all of us because of what we do. There's a lot of amazing, good-hearted law enforcement out there, and they deserve the credit for the jobs that they do. So, all right, I'll end it. Thank you, folks. I appreciate it, and welcome my new team. Take care, folks. Have a great weekend.
So I doubt that I'm going to be the person who finds the treasure chest.
Well, don't give up. It's the thrill of the chase.
It is the thrill of the chase.
How the hell do we wind up like this? And why weren't we able to see the signs that we missed? Try to turn the tables.